Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be my June wrap up, and how I'm going to split this video is by talking about movies I've watched in June, TV series I've watched in June, manhwa or manga that I've read in June, as well as books I've read and the like. And obviously I'm going to talk about the TBR list that I have that I plan to read for July. So let's get started. The first section I want to talk about is the movies that I've watched in June, and the two movies that I remember watching is number one, I watched How to Make Millions Before Grandmother Dies. I highly recommend this movie. It's really good. I give it a 10 out of 10. It made me cry, and trust me, I was the person that was thinking like, okay, I'm not going to cry by watching this movie, because I knew about the movie due to the hype from TikTok and social media, and everybody is like saying it's really good, it really makes you cry, and I'm just here like super skeptical because I was like, nah, not me. This heart is a heart of stone, which is a complete lie. 20 minutes in, I was already crying, so I was just like, so much for Heart of Stone. I highly recommend it because it's just so good. The plot is very simple. It's basically about this grandson who wants to take care of his grandmother for materialistic reasons. He has a cousin who took care of their grandfather, and the grandfather gave the granddaughter like land and the deed to the house. So this grandson is thinking like, oh, if I do that with my grandmother, then I might get the deed to the house and I'm gonna be rich, you know. So he started offering to take care of his grandmother, but then obviously throughout taking care of his grandmother, like, he sees that, oh, actually the reason why I want to take care of her, it's very selfish, and he starts to take care of her genuinely without any want for materialistic things, and it's just super sad. But I think the thing that makes it I wouldn't say extremely sad, but really sad for me, was how relatable it is, because the characters and the plot, it takes place in Thailand, and the characters are Thai Chinese, and as a Southeast Asian person myself, it's like when I see this, I just see my own family, you know, the whole how the family dynamics play out in this movie. You get like the grandmother or the mother who's dying, and then you get the daughter who is super responsible but always get overlooked. You have the son that's super busy, but he means well, but he's not there physically, so it's like he thinks that, oh, I'm just gonna throw money and it's going to solve the issue. And obviously you have the one son who's a bum, and then when I watched it, I'm just kind of like, doesn't that hit a bit too close to home? And it's interesting to watch how the family dynamics, even though it's with Thai characters and a completely different country, different language and everything, but I relate to it because I feel like, damn, all I can see when I watch this movie is my own family, my own mother, my own siblings, my own nieces and nephews, you know. So it's really interesting, and the movie, I wouldn't say it's sad all throughout. There's happy aspects to about it. There's like, it's bittersweet basically, because there's happy, there's funny, there's sad, there's really sad. But towards the end, I'm telling you, I should have brought tissues. I shouldn't have been so arrogant to think that I wouldn't cry, because I was one of the loudest criers there. I should have brought tissue because my t-shirt was wet. The tears was just flowing down. It was just a waterfall basically. So highly recommend. The next movie that I watched was The Corpse Washer. In Malay, it's Pemandi Jenazah. I do not recommend this movie. It's confusing. And it's not confusing because of the plot. It's the writing. The writing is just so confusing. Well, it kind of leads to the plot as well. Basically, I give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. The reason why I give it a 4.5, it's because the start of the movie was solid. It starts out well. It opens with the premise of like there's this mother and daughter duo who is the local corpse washer. So it's like a family business. So the mother is like teaching the daughter how to do, like, when Muslim people die, how you wash them. This is what you need to do. You can't talk smack about the people that died. You kind of like mind your own business. Whatever you see, like they say, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But in this part, it's like whatever you see or happen when you are cleaning the corpse stays with the corpse. And then it starts to become this whole murder mystery type of plot where people are dying one by one in under mysterious circumstances. So because she has like a sixth sense, she's like, okay, I gotta figure this out. Like, I gotta get to the end of this. And then she does get to the end of it. But then towards the end, the movie just gets super, super messy. Because, okay, the people that died are a group of friends. And these group of friends, they're linked by... basically what happened was that they started dying one by one through black magic means, right? And how they're linked together was the fact that these group of women are the same women that started the rumor that this one widow basically single mother, that this one single mother is like seducing everybody's husbands, so. And then as mob mentality goes, every woman in that town back in the day attacked this single woman, this single mother, not single woman, this single mother, and then basically beat her to death. And the daughter wants revenge, so it's the daughter, I think, is the one that does the black magic, because towards the end all the clues does show that it's the daughter of this single mother that was done. I forgot their names, by the way. I think Noor, the mother was Noor, and the daughter was Rika. So all of the black magic clues and everything points towards Rika doing it to the townsfolk of that village. But it's not really concrete. It's like it could be planted there by somebody, so it's not neat, so you're just kind of like, it could be Rika, but it could also be her being framed. So the ending was that Rika is like saying like, this is while she's being beaten up, by the way. She's like screaming like, stop beating me, this happens because this happened before, you beat the shit out of my mom, I just want revenge. And then they still beat her, and then the main protagonist is like, no, stop this is wrong. And then her brother got conked on the head and he died, and I'm just here like, what the hell is going on? What there's so many plot holes in this movie. Because, okay, the start of the movie was that there's a hole that's in the main protagonist or main character's house, and that hole linked to like this supernatural or black magic getting into the house and killing the people. But then it doesn't, like, I don't get it. Like, why have the hole in the house to lead to the black magic? But then who did the black magic? And then the end of the movie was that her brother died. I don't know what the fuck happened to Rika. Maybe she too died, being bashed in the head by the village people. And then next thing I know is just like we're watching the main character still being the corpse washer of that same village. And I'm just here like, that don't make sense. If your brother was conked on the head by the village people and you're still gonna stay there? Girl, are you okay? Are you okay? Because it doesn't seem like you're okay. And it seems like the black magic still went on, because now when she's like washing the corpse, she's seeing this lady have suso, which is like basically needles, like aromatherapy? No. Small needles that you put into the face, and it's supposedly It supposedly makes you look more beautiful, younger, more vibrant, yada yada yada, through black magic means. And I'm just here like, I don't want to know about this Uso. I want to know about what the fuck happened in the main story. What is going on? First, I'm thinking it's supernatural, then it became murder mystery, then it became a whole mob attack on perhaps innocent people. And I'm just like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused by this story. Yeah, don't recommend. I mean, like, on the supernatural aspect, it's scary not because it's scary. It's scary because there's a lot of jump scares. So for me, watching a movie that has more jump scares, I don't think it's a good movie because, I don't know, after you figure out, like, they're all just jump scares, there's kind of like nothing much to be scared of. Okay, so moving on to the manga I've been reading in June. I reread Demon Slayer all over again because I finished watching Demon Slayer season 5, and also I rewatched the whole anime of Demon Slayer. So basically, anime wise, I finished Demon Slayer and rewatched it all over again. Manga, I reread Demon Slayer all over again, especially the Infinity Castle arc. And aside from that, what else did I read in manga? Oh, sorry, I just finished dinner. Aside from the usual, like, reading the updates of the current manhwas or mangas that I've been reading, nothing much, because they're all still ongoing, and I kind of don't want to talk about it right now, because there's too many, and I'm just depressed waiting for them to be updated. So, aside from that, so we talked about movies, we talked about manga, we talked about anime, and what else? What else? Is my phone like saying it? I just realized. Okay, never mind. I think that's it in terms of like things I want to talk about in that's not book related. So let's move on to the books that I've read in June. So in June, let me open my book. Okay, the books I've read in June are, the first is The Good, the Bad, and the Duke by Yana McGregor. I gave this one a 2 out of 5 stars, and the reason why I hated this story is because, number one, I hated the male character. He's only nice when it benefits him. I mean, like, why now you want to be a useful citizen after you've become a duke? You're 35. Grow up. And the next one is Lady Moonbeam. God, when I rewatched my reading vlog of The Good, the Bad, and the Duke, it irked me. I remember why this Lady Moonbeam irked me. Because it's like, I thought that stupid nickname had some basis in childhood, so at least it would be cute. But no, he just like thought about it. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna call whatever the female lead character's name is Lady Moonbeam as her nickname, and that's going to be it. It's just kind of, it makes the male character kind of like give himself a pat on the back, thinking like, oh, I'm so smart, you know? It annoyed me. God, he's so vapid. And then the plot is so stupid. Like, nothing happens, basically. So the main gist of The Good, the Bad, and the Duke is that Daphne, I think it's her name, Daphne's journal, where everything, all the tea, all the good tea that she has on her family is in that journal, and her reticule was stolen. So she needs to get that journal back before the tea spills out and her family's reputation is ruined. Unfortunately, they can't find the kid who stole the reticule, right? And that's it. That's it. So the first half of the plot, they're just kind of constantly discussing of like how they're gonna find the kid, how they're gonna find the reticule, but nothing happens. They just keep making out half the time, and he keeps calling her Lady Moonbeam, and he keeps like crying about how useless he is, how he's like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, Daphne. And I was like, yeah, no shit, you're 35. Because I know he's roughly 35. It's because he is roughly 10 years older than Daphne, and Daphne's like 25. So he should be like 33 to 35-ish. And I'm just so annoyed because he keeps like complaining that he's not good enough, that he hasn't done all these good things to be worthy of her. And I'm just like, then do something about it. Then do something about it, you know? Instead of just whining like, oh, I'm not good enough for you, Daphne, so we're just gonna break up. And I hate the fact that he only wants to be a good person. Not really wants to be a good person, but he only wants to do good deeds for the community after he becomes a duke. So when he was like in his late teens to being like mid to early 30s, what the hell was he doing? There's oh my god, it stressed me out because there's like there's a good decade where he could do a lot of good for the community, you know, if he wants to portray himself to be such a good guy. But he only starts being the good guy after his brother dies, number one, and second is only after he inherited the dukedom. It's like he already has money. If you don't have money, can't you just like create your own money, work maybe? Like I don't get it. I hate him so much. And I also hate that I feel like whatever this male lead character's name is, he is such a Duke Valentine wannabe. Duke Valentine from Duke of Sin by Elizabeth Hoyt. He's such a Duke Valentine wannabe that it just irks me even more, you know, because like Duke Valentine, name I completely forgot, he is flamboyant efficiently and effectively. He's flamboyant, he's fun, he's deep, he's nuanced, he's flawed. But this guy, it's just, when I read it, all I'm hearing and all I'm reading is just a man baby, basically. So yes, hence why it's 2 out of 5. Next book that I read is an anthology, I guess, Kissing Under the Mistletoe by, I forgot the author's name, but I know Anna Bennett is in it. Yeah, I only remember Anna Bennett. I'll put the picture here. So the first story, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I thought it was cute. It's solid. It's an introvert meets another introvert, you know, bookworm meets bookworm. It's cute. It's solid. Nothing much to say. And the second story, I also rated a 3 out of 5 because it was alright, you know. It was okay. I don't really remember the plot, to be quite honest. All I remember is that she lives in a secluded place, and then she and her mom has an inn that was inherited by her from the dad, and then they're struggling to keep the inn alive, and then obviously the Duke's family comes along. The Duke is the grandfather, by the way, so the grandson has an affair or like a romantic liaison with the daughter, and then, you know, the usual, they fall in love. He goes back to London for a bit, regrets it, comes back and is like, I'm gonna stay here whether you accept me or not. You're just gonna have to accept it, girl, because I love you. And then she's just like, oh my god, really? I love you too. The usual. So the last story, I also rated a 3 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 4 out of 5, but because the ending was too cringy, I just couldn't. So in the third story, I really liked it because of the banter. The main character lied to his grandmother saying that he has a fiance, but he doesn't. He just wants his grandmother to stop yapping. So this girl, she broke into his house to steal back the watch that he won through gambling from her father. He hates her father because her father is the reason why the male lead's character, the male lead's father is depressed. So the male lead's father previously had a fiance. They're supposed to get married and it's supposed to be his stepmom, but she kind of eloped with the female lead's dad. and he is still salty about it. It's because he felt like if she didn't run away, his father wouldn't be depressed and he would have a dad. And so she breaks into his house and he's just like, who are you? What are you doing here? And I like the banter because it's really funny. Like how they meet is really funny. She's really feisty and she fights back, and he does not want to lose. So he also, just to annoy her, they match each other. And I like that because it's super super funny. It's kind of like enemies to lovers, but not really, because they already find each other hot. And then yeah, the ending sucked in my mind because I'm not one to like big or like grand gestures in terms of romance. It kind of annoys me because I feel like if it's a grand gesture, it always has like people that see it to make it a grand gesture, you know what I mean? So I don't like that. I don't like that he does this whole grand gesture in public, and it's just cringe. So, but overall, this book, Kissing Under the Mistletoe, solid, nothing much to complain. Next one is Wild Wicked Scott by Julia London. I love this book. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. This is the book that made me go into my Highlander historical romance hyperfixation. This is the book. So it is about Margot and Aaron. It's Arran. So it's about Margot and Aaron. It is a political marriage. She married him when she was very, very young, and he is clueless. He is absolute, because when you first read it, you think that Aaron is this brute that is like mean to her and is super like not understanding and doesn't love her or whatever. But when you read the story, you realize no, he's actually really sweet towards her. It's just that he's absolutely clueless. His mistreatment of her is not from lack of love. It's just from utter ignorance. He doesn't understand. And there's this one point in the book where he is saying basically he has never had a wife before, so he doesn't know what is the right or wrong thing to do. He never had to change his lifestyle for a woman, so he doesn't know how to fit a woman that is his wife into his life. So I really like this book because, number one, as I said in this, in my notes, it says here, I love the nuance and the difficulty of the characters adjusting to marriage, because it is hard, especially when Margot was so young. I think she was like 17, 18 when she married Aaron. She's an English woman who just turned 18, and then suddenly she was shipped off to Scotland, where they speak Gaelic and they don't like English people, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know anybody there. The only person she does know is her husband Aaron, and her husband is busy all the time, all day, every day, because he is the leader of the clan. I mean, which makes sense. He is a busy man. But at the same time, she feels lonely. But because she's so young, she doesn't know how to articulate what she wants properly. So it comes off as standoffish. For example, because the book is split into two timelines, basically. It's like the present and then you get a flashback. So in the flashback, Aaron gets annoyed that Margot didn't want to dance because he feels like she's looking down on his culture, on his people. But from her perspective, she's just really, really shy, and she genuinely sucks in dancing. So she doesn't want to like embarrass herself. So that's why she keeps saying no. So they just have this miscommunication that if they had just communicated, would have been settled. But because one is absolutely clueless in how to be a husband and how to treat his wife with understanding, and the other one is so young, so this miscommunication just becomes worse and worse and worse. And it's not because they don't love each other. They genuinely do. It's just like it's the miscommunication that comes from ignorance, basically, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And then the next thing I wrote here, the fallout between Margot and Aaron makes sense, and it made sense they sucked at communication. It's more ignorance rather than malice. And then I like that the plot made sense and it's engaging. And then I said here, I love how accommodating Aaron was. It's just that Margot was so young when she got married, and she lacked the confidence and articulation that only age could give her. Because Aaron was absolutely clueless, but it was cute and heartwarming. Because he genuinely tried. He tried to give her a ball. He tried to do all the English stuff that she likes. It's just that because she didn't articulate it properly to him, like what she wanted exactly, he kind of put his own twist in it, and it disappointed her. And because it disappointed her, it also disappointed him, because he's like, I've tried my best. It's like, I don't understand why you're upset. But the book, superb. Definitely recommend. So I was super excited to read the second installment, which is The Sinful Scottish Laird, also by Julia London. I wanted previously in my reading vlog, I gave this a 3 out of 5, but I changed my mind now, and I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 because I fucking hate this book. So imagine how I feel, okay? It's like when I read Wild Wicked Scott, it's like the expectation is here. It's 5 out of 5. So I'm expecting the same level, right? With the second installment. It's the same, it's within the same universe, it's the same author, it's kind of the same characters, you know? So I'm expecting this high. And what I got was this. So it's like you understand, right? Why I'm absolutely disappointed by the second book. And the reason why I'm so disappointed by the second book, because the female lead, named Daisy, is a fucking dimwit and a hoe. She expects a man, which is Kayleen? I forgot his name, never mind. She expects the male lead to be okay with her fucking around with him when she is essentially betrothed to another. And then she gets upset when he's upset. It's like these two have miscommunication, but it's done horribly. In the first book, it's done well. It made sense. The miscommunication made sense. The miscommunication in the second book is just dumb. It's just absolutely dumb. It's like male lead got his heart broken when he was in his early 20s because basically he got played, and he is so hurt by it. It took him, even after 15 years, he still cannot get over it. Like, bro, fucking relax, you know? It's been 15 years. Get over it. There's so many other women out there. Get over it. And the fact that he didn't get over it bleeds into his relationship with the female lead, where he keeps telling her, like, oh, I don't want anything serious. So she's also kind of like, okay, I also don't want anything serious, but we both know they want something serious with each other, but they don't want to say it. And I'm just like, fucking say it. Just say it, you know? Like, I don't understand. Just be adults and just say, like, hey, I want to be with you. Are you in or out? If you're in, we're cool. If you're out, fine. I'll find somebody else. And then the thing is just like, the plot doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So Daisy has to get remarried within 2 years. If not, she forfeits her son's inheritance. He's a viscount. Because due to the clause her ex-husband who died said so. And I'm just here like, okay, so the ex-husband doesn't want her to basically embezzle her son's inheritance and like use it for nefarious means. But at the same time, wouldn't that mean that by making her broke, you're also making the son broke? Because who the hell is going to take care of the son? And how is she supposed to take care of the son if the son did not have any inheritance? She's supposed to work? It don't make sense. Nothing makes sense in this book. So anyways, she keeps wanting to have sex with the male lead, But then at the same time, she's just kind of like, no, I'm going to be betrothed to this other dude, this naval captain. And then when he gets upset because he's like, okay, what the fuck? It's like, you can't just have your cake and eat it. You can't want to sleep with me and have slept with me and then suddenly skedaddle away back to London with another dude. You can't expect me to just be chill about it. And then she gets upset that he's upset. And I'm just like, why is this book so dumb? So, yes, moving on. The next book I read is Scott Under the Covers by Susanne Enoch. I gave this a 4 out of 5. And the reason why I gave it 4 out of 5 is because the plot is fun and had tension, which made it great to read. Like, you know, it's a nice balance. And then I loved how Miranda is a smart cookie. She's as smart as Ada. They're both equally smart, so I really, really like that. What else did I like about this book? Yeah, it's solid, basically. I keep saying solid. I keep saying the plot is solid. But it is. It is, though. Like, Scott Under the Covers is a solid book. It had great characters. Miranda was smart and feisty, which I like in a female lead in a historical romance. Aiden is hot and smart. I mean, what else? Do you need to be more? Okay, so the next one is also from the same author, Hit Me With Your Best Scott by Susanne Enoch. I gave this a 4 out of 5. This one I was looking forward to because the ending of Scott Under the Covers was the eldest brother ran out butt naked, and that was so funny for me. So I was super excited to read his story, which is Hit Me With Your Best Scott. And I like this more than the previous book because I just find it funny because they keep referencing it, the crazy things that he does, like chase a man butt naked with a sword in the middle of London. And then I like his inner monologue. What is his name? Call. 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 It's like, I like his inner monologue because he's like, he is smart. It's just that because he's so huge, people think he's dumb. People think he's stupid, you know? But he's not. He's actually pretty smart. And because he's just too lazy, or he really doesn't care to correct other people's first impression of him, he is basically stuck with the impression of that he's dumb. He's big and dumb. But, you know, I just find him funny. His monologue, his dialogue is funny, and he's obviously sweet, the usual in terms of like historical romance male leads. And the next thing that I do like about this book is I liked how Persephone, which is the female lead of the book, is not a virgin. Because I don't know, I have a, I wouldn't say complicated, it's conflicted. Every time I read like a historical romance, and it's always like, oh, she's a virgin, and I'm like, that might be true. People back then, at that time where it purity culture to the max, they're probably more virgins than we are now. But it's like, I'd like to read more about women who have experience in sex. So it's refreshing to read how Persephone is not a virgin. She slept, I think, with, call this her 4th guy. So she slept with 3 guys. And then, let me see. Oh, I didn't like, the reason why I didn't give this a 5 out of 5, even though I enjoyed it far more than the previous book, was because I didn't like the ending. The ending didn't land because I felt like it came out of nowhere. Because Persephone is being basically attacked. Somebody wants to kill her, but they don't know who. They suspect it's his cousin. Turns out it wasn't the cousin. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert. So it wasn't the cousin. It turns out it was the cousin's fiance who wants to kill her to get her inheritance to give it to her fiance. And I'm just here like, what the fuck? What? When did she come into the picture, you know? I don't like that. I don't like how some authors, they just say like, oh, it's actually this character that was the antagonist all along. But there were absolutely no clues in the book. None whatsoever. So you could have just said Jesus was the antagonist all along, and I would have been like, okay, came out of nowhere, but sure, if that's what you want, you know? So I don't like that. The last book that I read in June is The Warrior of Clan Kincaid by Lily Blackwood. I also gave this a 4 out of 5. Basically, my review is that it's solid. It has... What does it have? It has the usual, like, stoic, honorable male lead. He really is honorable in this book, though, even though they slept together, like in the same bed. No fucking whatever. Then I'm just like, damn, he is a saint. Because if I was the man, that woman would have been ravished. So basically, yeah, I like the main characters. I like the plot. The plot is nice too. Although I have to say, I think I would have enjoyed this book more if I've read the previous installments in the series. Because I read this, Warrior of Clan Kincaid, and I think this is the third book in the series. So I feel like if I read the previous books, I would have enjoyed it more. Other than that, the female lead is the usual, you know, feisty, beautiful, the usual. Basically, it's solid. I don't know what else to talk about it, you know. Historical romance is the same. It's the same template all around. I don't know what else you want me to talk about it. So, yeah. Let me think. What else did I like about it? I remember now why I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because initially I wanted to give it a 3 out of 5 because I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. The spicy scenes were great. Characters were great. The female lead and the male lead characters, awesome, worked great. But the thing that bumped it up to a 4 out of 5 is the side character Robert. I really, really liked Robert. And I want the author to write a story about his character. I don't know if she will. I really hope she does because I feel like he is the one that caught my eye. Okay, so we are done talking about books I've read in June, and basically in June I have read 7 books, which is a lot for me considering that these 7 books were read in the last half of June, so in the last 2 weeks, that I just was like, you know what, I just really want to read Highlander historical romance, and I did, and I requested more from NetGalley. I only got approved for 1. Whatever. Okay, so my July TBR list that I have written down. Okay, it started out as 6. There was originally 6 books that I wanted to read in July, all of my previous arcs from NetGalley, but then I requested for more arcs, not from NetGalley, from the author themselves. And now I'm just like, well, hot damn, now what? So the first book is, mind you, I have no idea what these plots are about. I just want to get my TBR down to get my NetGalley ratings up. So the first book I chose, which I kind of am currently reading, is Highland Sword by May McGoldrick. The second one is A Duke in Time by Yana McGregor. And the reason I chose this one amongst all of my NetGalley arcs is because the plot has polygamy or bigamist. I don't know what's the difference. Basically, the husband has more than one wife and none of the wives know that they are in a polygamy situation. And the reason why I chose this book also is because all the wives, the husband died, by the way, so all the wives were working together, and I was like, ooh, girl power, nice, like. Third is The Broken Duke by Jess Michaels, and I chose this one because from the plot, it says that it has double identity, so I'm thinking this is the plot where the female lead is like a lady during the day, an actress during the night, and I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So the next one is, the fourth is One for the Rogue by Amanda Collins, and the reason why I chose this is because the female lead is a geologist, and I am also a geologist. So us geologists, rock freaks, gotta stick together. Number 5 is Abroad in Japan by Chris Broad. I felt like, you know what, I really need to read at least one hard copy book, because my hard copy TBR is also getting out of hand. So yeah. And then the sixth one is The Spitfire by Christy Caldwell. And the reason why I chose this is because of there's a class difference trope, as well as the female lead saves the male lead, and I really like that. And the last three are the ones that I recently got the arcs. So number 7 is Run Rabbit Run by Juniper Hartman. I already finished this. Review is on the way. I'm not going to talk about it in here, except to say that the rating I gave this one is I'm in between a 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. But it's good. I definitely recommend you to read it. I'll put the links down below. It's ready for pre-order. So if you're interested to read it, okay, I'm just going to tell about the plot then. So basically, I don't know, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm really bad at like not having a script because I just tend to ramble. So it is an erotica, obviously. It's dark romance. That's all I can say, that I feel like I'm not gonna spoil things by accident. It's dark romance, it's erotica. There's also there's a lot of trigger warnings, by the way, if you are interested to read this book. There's like non-consensual stuff, non-consensual orgasms, and there's going to be like a foursome. What else? I'm trying to remember what other triggers there is. Yeah, basically all you need to know is that I highly recommend it. It's a really good read if you're not easily triggered. It's a good read, it's fun, definitely recommend. I'll put the links down below if you want to pre-order. The next one is I'm Still Standing by Brittany Carson. Also, I got this e-arc from the author themselves. I joined the PR. I joined something. I can't remember what this book is about. I just really like the cover. Let me try. Where's my Kindle? The main reason why I chose this book is because I just really like the cover. That's it. I'm shallow. I'm sorry. But the cover is pretty. Just give me a moment. Can you see? See, I mean, it looks nice. So I'm just like, I really like the cover. Why? What is the plot? I have no idea. All I remember was that I saw it on Instagram. That's how I knew about it. I saw it on Instagram. It started from Threads, and then to sign up, I went to the author's Instagram, and then I saw the picture that they put, and the only thing I remember was that it's a golden retriever and the black cat type of dynamic, which I like. I love golden retriever guys. And then it's like small town romance, I think. Small town romance. And what else? My god, I really did choose this book because the cover was pretty. Oh my god, so bad. So the last one, and this one I requested from NetGalley, and the reason why I requested it is because I am still in my Highlander phase. So it is Her Highland Outlaw by Virginia Brown. Do I know the plot? Absolutely not. I just chose it because it's a historical romance subgenre Highlander. That's it. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. My god, it's like 45 minutes long. I will try to condense it as best as possible. And that's it for me. See you in the next video. Bye.